Greetings, everyone. Today is 35 years since I moved to Canada. And let me tell you, it's been a upheaval battle. But I never gave up, regardless of whatever circumstance I find. Whatever I have to go through in life, I always have a plan A, B, C, D. And when those don't work out, I start from plan A again. And I want to say to the people who are watching this, I'm in no position to look down on anybody. Because when I'm looking down, that's where I came from. And I can't look up to anybody because the only person or the only being that I can look up to is God. God is the only ones who have never deceived me, betrayed me, disappointed me. When I have bad things going on in my life, sometimes it's choices that I have made. Okay? Now, in this video, I am attempting to show some of my fellow Jamaicans who live in Jamaica, who have the feeling that when people live abroad, life is easy. It's not. It's not. Sometimes the more you achieve in these parts, is a harder work, is a more sacrifice. I have not traveled in 6 years from trying to hold it down, going without. I know what it's like to go without. I know what it's like to not even go close to a mall because it's either buying something or putting money together to achieve and attain my goal. And even when I make those sacrifices, when other folks are traveling and individuals are living the best life, I'm hunkering down, and that still does not guarantee me any type of success. I have to just stay working, stay grinding, stay planning. You know what I mean? Now, for my people in Jamaica who, sometimes talk about people being mean and selfish and things like that, understand that some of us are suffering. Many of us go to bed without food. You think because they're in foreign, they have food. Sometimes they can barely find anything to eat. Sometimes the cupboard is empty. Sometimes the bank account is embarrassing because they got to pay the bills. They have to stay on top of the bills. You don't pay your bill 1 month, you know what? Your credit is gone to hell. And no one will rent your place. It's hard. We're always staying on the grind. I just cannot stand people who believe that everything is okay, hunky dory. People are working and they lose their job. And 1 month of being unemployed and your life gone to shits, okay? Excuse the French. I want you to understand that. I also want to say to you, I'm going to switch my camera and I'm going to show you that the excuses some of our Jamaican people are making is just not cutting it anymore. We're not looking at you. We're not paying attention to you. You're showing us the price of things in Jamaica. I don't care. Don't go into supermarket in Jamaica and tell me that a tomato is $700. That's not my problem, okay? Because I can't afford it. Check this out. This is my backyard garden. I don't live in the countryside. I live in the city, really. More remote part of the city, but I city now nonetheless. I have a small backyard, and we understand that we cannot afford the price of food in the supermarket, even though we live here and people work. So what do? We go and we squeeze tomatoes in our backyard. We collect seeds from the year before for callaloo and we sow those. And all the things that we need to sustain us during the warm months, because that's the only time we can plant in Canada. So we only have from April and really till July to be able to harvest these things. But we don't make any excuses. We do what we have to do. And that's the only time we know we can call something organic. So we plant it. My husband plants the field in his backyard to be able to harvest the food. Because no matter what's going on with us in our finances, we still have to eat. And we can't call anybody and beg them anything. Now, here is the crop that we reap. Tomatoes, and we cut these up, we freeze them, callaloo, cabbage. We're setting this aside for the winter months. Okay? The point I'm making here is not bragging. Okay? There's nothing fantastic about squeezing out some tomato in the ground so that it can grow for you to eat. There's no problem with taking some, cabbage, sowing some cabbage seeds and, watch that grow for you to eat. If you're a man and you're not finding food for your family, I'm going to say you're worthless. I'm sorry, it might sound bad, but you're worthless. If you live in Jamaica and you have land, you're in the countryside and you're out here waiting and have your hand out begging people, it's disgraceful, okay? And I don't feel sorry for you. Squeeze out the tomato when you purchase it. When you show me that one tomato is $732, I don't care. $277 for scallion, and one pepper for 800 and something, and this rotten squash for $373. What business do you have in the supermarket? This is why the Chinese in Jamaica are getting richer and richer, and you're out there bawling and moaning and complaining. When did our people become so lazy, so complacent? You need to dig up your yard, get some car tires and put dirt in there. Put the soil in there and plant something. Even if you have nothing to sell, but at least you have for your kids. Instead of feeding your kids ramen noodle, it's a disgrace. That's not how we were raised. We were in homes where people were considered poor and yet they were never hungry. It's not that difficult. If we can do that, what excuses do you all have? So I believe in helping people. There are times when people have their kids going to school and it's difficult and they can get help. But don't talk to us about food. Why are you hungry? Why are you hungry? You think your hand nook, you cannot provide or plant foods for you to cook. Give me a break. Listen, people, be smart. Be smart. I see women planting the fields. We're raising these sissy type of men in Jamaica, and these big strong men when they should be out there taking care of their family and planting food for them to eat. They're complaining about government. Government give two issues about you people. They don't care about you. Get your acts together, sort your life out. Okay? This squash, or what do you call it, pumpkin, has seeds. You plant those seeds and they will grow. Most of you have backyard. A lot of you, even if you're renting place, you have a little space in the yard that you can plant these things. Okay, you don't need a whole lot of land. You can plant in pots. Okay, and the squash can run wild on a fence. Come on, get your acts together, people. So I do have empathy for people when they're going through a hard time, but I'm saying, what are you doing to get out of your situation? What are you doing to get out of your circumstance? There's no excuse, okay? Because I wouldn't want to be with a man who sit and fold his arms and cry and say, oh, I can't afford this or that, when he has 10 fingers and strength that God give to him. And women can do the same as well. Time for the excuse. So be up. Stop it. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you. You shouldn't even want to feel sorry for yourself. Just do what you have to do to make this life bearable. Do what you need to do to survive. And when you plant these things, find yourself in the market and go sell it. And stop with the foolishness. Listen, I have many degrees and I will sell my product. I have had to. No pride in my game. So, see, if you are a hustler, big up yourself. If you're somebody who say, listen, in spite of my hardship in life, I'm going to do what I have to do to make it out here. If you're someone who says, listen, I'm going to die trying, big up yourself, okay? But if you're someone who love to make excuses and expect people to deliver you, hey, get lost, okay? Talk to me, people, in the comment section, and stay blessed.